All right, guys, there will be a lot of cookouts going on this Memorial Day weekend, and for a lot of us, we enjoy a good steak. I know I do. But the question is, do you know how to pick and season it? Joining me now to give us a few tips is a grill master. Yes, those people exist. Preston Coangelo. Thank you so much for being here, Preston.
Thank you for having me.
So you got steaks in front of me, which is probably not a good idea, but there's a way to pick a cut and there's also a way to season it. So tell me about that.
Yeah, it's Memorial Day, so every Memorial Day we like to do this grilling hotline by going to call 855-LH Grill, and you can go there tomorrow 11 to 5, and we have grilling tips for those that are intimidated by a grill, which is not uncommon this time of year. So,
definitely.
But we have 3 different cuts that are with us, and the most important thing is to choose a cut that you like the most.
Okay.
This is a sirloin right here, which is very juicy. It has a really good flavor to it. The most lean and tender is going to be your filet, which is right here. And then what I like to call the Cadillac of steaks, it's my favorite piece, is a ribeye. This is a bone-in 18-ounce signature outlaw ribeye that we have. You can see through the marbling that's in there that is what creates all the flavor. It's a little bit of fat. Fat is not bad this time of year. You got to indulge every now and then.
If you're going to go big.
Exactly, exactly. So you want to make sure that you pick the correct cut for the correct temperature as well. If you like a rare, medium rare steak, you want to pick something that's thicker, not something that's too heavy.
Perfect.
So what we do, we use our own signature blend of seasonings here, but you can duplicate it at home with salt, pepper, garlic, granulated onion, that kind of deal.
Okay, easy.
But the most important thing to do is understand that you have to put a lot of seasoning on a steak, especially if you're cooking it on the char grill, because it's going to fall through the grates.
Let's show us how to do it.
Go right ahead.
I'll put these gloves on. All right.
And does that have to stay marinated for a certain amount of time?
We don't marinate. You don't want to you can marinate a steak if you want, but you're ruining, you're overpowering the flavor. You want the flavor of the meat to come out. So what you're going to do is pass over that steak a couple of times with that seasoning and get it on there really good. And then you're going to want to rub it in just like so. Okay, you want to make sure you press that on there because, like I said, it's going to fall.
Right.
So you're going to want to season both sides aggressively.
So what is the difference between seasoning a steak with, maybe dry seasoning and maybe if people want to do like a marinade or something like that?
A marinade can tend to make a tissue tougher.
Okay.
It can. It depends. If you start cooking a steak more medium well done, it's going to make it tough. But you want the flavor to come out, especially with this. This does not need much help at all.
No,
the salt,
definitely.
pepper, garlic, onion is really all you're going to need.
And you rub it in there, and it looks pretty good.
It sticks on there pretty good. Yeah. And then, like I was saying before, make sure you've got a hot grill, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Definitely.
About the proper way to grill a steak, because there are some misconceptions out there.
Yes, there are, because I know that I don't get my grill hot enough or something. So I'm definitely going to need to stick around and hear those tips. So we'll be back. We'll check back in with Grill Master Preston again a little later. Welcome back, everyone. I wish you could hear the sizzle and smell how it smells in here, because it smells so good. So we're back with Grill Master Preston right now, we saw how to season the steaks earlier, so now he's showing us how to grill them. So take it away, because I'm just going to listen to the sizzle and smell it.
All right, great. So again, fresh, never frozen cuts of steak like we use at Longhorn, it's crucial to a great steak. So as we season it, you're going to make sure, we're doing this indoors. If you're going to cook indoors this holiday, you're going to want to make sure that you turn your griddle or whatever you have to medium high or high.
Okay.
If you're using an outdoor grill, you're going to want to season the grates with oil, and you're going to want that thing about 550 degrees. Very, very hot. Believe it or not, you want it as hot as possible. It gets that pretty sear on the steak, and it actually helps cook it properly, because a lot of times people think too hot of a grill is actually too bad, and that's not. You want something that's really, really hot. So again, aggressively season it, put it on there, and you're going to want to flip it about every 3 to 4 turns. Okay. Always use a spatula at home, and the main reason being is you're going to lose seasoning off that steak, so that's going to be flavor.
Oh,
so you don't want to, like at the restaurant, that's kind of, for TV purposes, we're using this right here, but we use a char grill, and like I said before, a lot of the seasoning falls through the grates.
Right.
So it's really, really important to understand that. Don't be afraid to put it on there. It's going to come off. Yeah, so no worries.
So don't be afraid to lose some of the seasoning when you do it.
But see, you let it do 3 or 4 minutes, because as you can see right now, it's not quite where we want it to be. You want a nice dark crust that seals in the juices, that kind of thing.
Right.
Now, the big thing you want to remember too is let your meat sit about 4 or 5 minutes after you cook it. Because if you like your steak medium and above, what's going to happen is you cut that thing and right away all the juices are going to flow out. So just like a roast in the oven, you're going to want to let it rest. You don't want to cut into that thing right away.
I always do that. I take it off and I eat it. So, okay, don't do that. That's not what you want to do.
You don't want to do that. But we have a few other things here, some of the other peak season entrees.
Okay.
Our fire-grilled corn on the cob, which is outstanding. It's a guest favorite.
Looks delicious.
Yes, our fried green tomatoes, fresh green tomatoes that we Parmesan panko bread or finished with a chili ranch, and then fresh goat cheese on top of that. Our Blue Ridge wedge salad, which is a romaine heart with our house-made blue cheese dressing, crumbled applewood smoked bacon, blue cheese crumbles, Roma tomatoes, and onions. And then this is a little different than we have in the restaurant. It's actually better in the restaurant. This is a brown sugar peach cobbler, which is great. And it comes with vanilla bean ice cream on top of it. It's heated. It's outstanding. So this is something a little bit new to us.
We put Brittany over by the food again.
There's a reason why
she's always over there instead. Awesome. So all of these are available at Longhorn, right?
Correct.
All of this stuff.
Correct.
So if you don't feel like grilling out, you can go to Longhorn. But he's showing you all the tips and tricks so you guys can make your own great steak. Now, I had a question for you because obviously this is a thicker slab of meat. So what do you do to get the sides? Do you kind of flip it on its side?
You roll it.
Oh, okay.
I'll demonstrate real quick. Basically, what you want to do, I mean, I like it pretty, I don't like to cook my meat much.
Yeah.
So I like it like this, but that's kind of a trick that you use. You just roll it. This is a fillet, so the fillets are going to stand up a little bit more. But as you see, when you roll the steak, it just browns the outside edge of it.
Yeah.
And then it gives it a better appearance. But to be honest with you, I just care how it tastes.
So for people who maybe really don't know, like medium rare, well done, what is like a temperature if they like stick something?
There's a little trick that you can do. You do it with your hand, and I'll demonstrate right here. So you have your 5 hands. This is well done. This is medium well.
I'm not good at this.
Oh, this is well. Medium well, medium rare. And then this is rare. We do not use thermometers. You don't want to puncture your meat to make sure that it's correctly cooked.
Okay.
Grill masters and the people at Longhorn, we actually use a touch method. So we literally can tell the temperature and how a steak is cooked properly by literally just pushing, and the tenderness of the tissue is how we know it's ready. So we don't want to impale the meat because as soon as you do, all that juice flows out and you've got a dried up piece of meat.
So no thermometers. All right, I learned something new today. I used my hand.
But if you do use thermometers at home and you don't trust the touch method and the little tricks with the hand, you can use a meat thermometer or a regular thermometer. 145 is the average temperature for a medium steak. 120 is rare, and then well done is like 155 degrees.
Perfect. See, you need to know these tips, guys.